Hello everybody, welcome to the TBS Online Summer Courses webinar about the digital marketing course. So today we have our guest lecturer, Gilles Nacle, who's come to talk to you about his course, his master level course about digital marketing, integrating social media, the case of France. Thank you so much for joining us, Gilles. How are you today?
Hi, thank you for inviting me. I'm fine, thank you. How about you?
Very well, thank you. Well, it's a nice sunny day. That's what we need. So, first of all, do you want to start with explaining a little bit about this course, a brief outline for us?
Sure. This course, of course, is or tackles digital marketing. That includes, of course, social media. That means that it is an introduction to strategies that entail digital marketing that include social media in different ways, with one, I would say, characteristic that is targeting the new businesses, or what we call startups. So this is what this course is about.
That sounds brilliant. I think I want to sign up myself. Could you give me an idea for what this course, who is our target for this course? Well, who are the students that you would expect to participate?
Well, this is, of course, for master students, students that have had already one marketing course at least, or it is as well for young professionals who have had one first experience and, of course, have an idea about marketing, who would like, of course, to know more about how to create solid strategy, that is a digital marketing strategy, and how they can use in a smart way, in an efficient way, social media in order to reach their consumers. Consumers in general, when we reach them through digital and social media, they are what we call niche communities, which means we don't need to go into mass communication, but we're going to reach them through social media in a tactical way. And now the name of the game, of course, is to engage them. It's to make it interesting for them, but of course to listen to what they have to say and make them participate and engage in the actions that you would like them to take part of.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. That's very clear. So for our next question, I just wanted to ask, could you explain how students can expect to apply their knowledge, the knowledge that they've gained in your course, for their future career?
Yeah, following my answer, the previous answer, students who are looking to create their own companies, their own startups in whichever business sector that is, they will be, of course, taking this course in order to understand what are the principles of digital marketing and how important it has become nowadays, how they can apply them if they are creating their own startups, or if they are as well part of a structure that is a small structure where they need to reach their own consumers, whether it is in B2B or in B2C, whether it's consumers or to businesses as well, and how they can create a solid strategy and reach their own consumers. This is, of course, for these students that would like to create their own startups or part of a startup. And of course, the ones that have already worked in companies would identify definitely in small companies, would identify to this course, and they would be able, of course, to use it in the future too.
Yes, it's also a course that gives you a background which they can then offer some students, if they're moving on to look for a job, can then add it to their CV and offer it as a skill set to their future employer as well, right?
Yes, of course, and I would like to add on top of this, it is important, of course, to say it in their CV, but I'd like to add on top of it that this course doesn't target students who are specialized in digital marketing or in social media. This is for students who have already finished, either they are in their final years actually, or they have already had a small experience, which means young professionals, and they want to learn more about the digital experience and digital marketing, social media as well, how they can use them. It is not targeting those who have specialized in digital marketing. No, it's a sort of an introduction to the strategic digital marketing, and of course to the strategic as well use of social media.
That's a great and very useful clarification. Thank you.
Welcome.
So I had another question about the kind of methodology that you're planning to use in the course? This was actually a course we originally had on the plan for the summer school this year. How have you adapted it to the online format?
If we take a look at any course, of course, it has two parts. The first part is theoretical. The second part is practical. When we talk about digital marketing and social media, there is more of the practical side of it that is present. And what we've done for the summer school, what I decided to do and agreed with you to do, is that we will keep one part that is theoretical. Although in digital and social media, theory is changing all the time. We're still learning about this, of course, but there are some basic rules we need to learn about, some basic theories. Once we learn them, we try to apply them, and of course we gave much more room for practical side for students to, of course, to enjoy doing it, because there is, of course, the problem of the distance learning.
Perfect, thank you very much. What kind of key skills would you say the students will have acquired once they've finished the course?
Well, if we talk about skills, I'd like to talk mainly about the soft skills that students will hopefully acquire by end of this course. The first one is the communication skill. And when I say communication skill, the challenge over here is for them to learn how to communicate first through distance learning. That is, of course, a big challenge in order to get the message across through, of course, distant learning with each other, among each other, because they'll be working in teams, of course. And the challenge is that some of them will be coming from different countries, which leads me to the second soft skill, which is the time management. How can we communicate with each other, taking into account that there will be this zone time difference? How can we overcome that problem? How can we organize ourselves? So the first thing is to communicate in between themselves, with the professor, and of course to other students who will be listening to them. The second, of course, soft skill would be the time zone difference. How can we overcome that problem and be efficient, of course, and come up with the right project, the right projects, of course, and the right results. That is another skill that is important. Now, another soft skill I would like to talk about is problem solving. That is an important one. And of course, critical thinking. We always go for these soft skills in any course. But here there is, of course, an additional challenge, which is making sure that you get the message across. If you're coming from a different culture or using a different language, you have to make sure that the critical thinking is agreed upon among the team, of course, and delivered, of course, in class, which is a big challenge. But of course, it is quite interesting, because I'll tell you from my own experience, in the past 2 months, I had students coming from different countries, and they work together. So some of them were coming from Asia, working with students from America, from the Americas, or from Europe, getting all together and working on a similar project. And I could see that they overcame that problem by, of course, listening to each other and, of course, accepting to come up with the right solutions for the problem that is given. So I think these are the major skills I can talk about. In addition to this, of course, it is the problem of, I wouldn't say problem, it's a skill that I hope they will learn to overcome, to get the message across through the digitalization, which means through Zoom over here, if we're using the platform that is Zoom. And of course, increasing their skills online by creating their own, by creating their own blog or their own account on Instagram or other social media, by using other social media. So I want them as well to learn how they manage these social media and integrate them in their marketing, digital marketing strategy.
Perfect, thank you very much for explaining that to us. I had just one last question that I think would help the students understand a little bit more about how the course works and functions. What kind of evaluation criteria will you be using during the course, and how will you be marking them, but also what should they expect to demonstrate, and what will you be looking for?
Well, I'd like as well I'll answer that question, but I'd like as well to tell you one thing that has changed in this course, besides the methodology and when we talked about theory and practice, we have modified a few things, which means it will be much more interactive in a sense that we will have a session where hopefully we'll be getting in touch with a professional that will take them through, of course, his own experience. It will be an open session where they can ask any question to that professional. It will be done online. There will be coaching sessions as well that I have implemented, which they will be evaluated on, which is part, of course, of their final grade. So these what I call actually the lab searches. So they have, of course, a sort of an assignment that they have to do online in small teams, and of course they will be evaluated on this. I will be coaching them during that time, during the lab search, and there will be a final project, and this project is going to be on the French market. So they have to research on the French market with their own point of view that's coming from another country, and of course launch their own startup in the French market using, of course, the right digital marketing strategy, including, of course, the proper social media in order to reach their own target group that they would have defined initially. So it is, of course, split in between, I would say, lab searches and final projects.
Brilliant. Well, that sounds really interesting. I think they're quite a good mixture as well of different ways in which students can and will be evaluated, so they don't need to worry about all of their grade counting on just one evaluation.
Exactly, that's it.
Perfect. Is there anything else that you'd like to add about the course that we didn't cover in the questions?
Well, on the course itself, no, maybe on the summer school itself. I know that the summer school each year is a huge success at TBS, where we have students flying from all over the world to come to Toulouse and travel, of course, to other cities if they would like to around Europe. I know that this year, most of the countries in the world, they cannot or they will not be applying, of course, or having the possibility to travel to other countries. And I think this is one way of traveling, of course, online in a digital way, meeting other people and learning about other cultures, while learning, of course, a course that matters to them, that will help them in the future in their own businesses, whether it is their own or if they are part of a structure. And I think the experience would be great. This is what I lived in the past 2 months, and I can assure you that some of the students, they had excellent outcome out of the experience that they've had. And I know in summer school, it's going to be the same. So I invite students who are still hesitating to go for this course, because definitely it's going to be a great learning experience.
That's right, and actually to enhance the learning experience, we're going to organise some additional cultural activities, virtual cultural activities, for students to get to know each other, not just those in the same course, but also across all the different 15 courses that we're running over the months of June and July. So you're quite right, that's a really a good additional point. One thing just to add, I would say, is that this course in digital marketing, integrating social media, will be running on our July session, which is course cycle 2, from the 6th of July to the 22nd of July. So
and
I think
so what you I'd like to add one thing. On the 6th of July, on the first day, for those who did not read yet the syllabus, I will be asking all the students to create a sort of a video to introduce themselves in order to learn about each other. So it's going to be interactive from day one.
Perfect. Well, you're going to chuck them in at the deep end, as we say in the UK.
Yes.
Brilliant. Well, that all sounds great. Thank you so much, Gilles, for joining us. Thank you, everyone, for participating and listening to this webinar. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope you'll be able to, you got all the information that you needed about this course, and that you'll sign up on our website. Applications are open for this course until the 22nd of June. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.